Within the Pokemon community, there's a set of self-imposed rules you can add to the games to make them more challenging, called a Pokemon Nuzlocke. You can only catch the first Pokemon you run into per route. If a Pokemon faints, it dies, and you can't use it anymore. And you have to nickname your Pokemon to get more attached to them. That means if you aren't careful, you can technically lose a Pokemon game under those conditions. I've wanted to do a Nuzlocke for the longest time. I've started a couple in the past, but never actually got to finish any because busy. But today's the day that all changes. I decided to make a video on my first full attempt at a Pokemon Ruby Nuzlocke. Let's see how it went. After breaking free from the back of the moving truck my mom stuffed me in and introducing myself to the neighbor Brendan, the kid that I always thought was a monkey said that he heard screaming up ahead. Professor Birch is getting mauled by a level 2 Poochyena, so I let his Torchic out and she scratches the crap out of it. He gifts me Torchic for rescuing him, and I name her Teriyaki, my first Pokemon. Walking up the route more, I run into Brendan, who challenges me to a battle, where Teriyaki proceeds to also scratch the crap out of his Mudkip. Good job, Teriyaki, you're 2 for 2, doing great. Professor Birch gives me 5 Pokeballs, and the Nuzlocke has officially started. I walked back up to catch my first Pokemon and ran into a Zigzagoon. Alright, not the best, but I can work with this. You know, I think we're gonna have a really awesome adventure. Dude! So Teriyaki one-shotted Zigzagoon with a critical hit scratch, but whatever. Contain your murder a little bit, alright, guy? Route 102 is right around the corner, and that's where I was able to catch Corn the Seedot. Look at us, couple of friends ready to take on the Hoenn region together. After watching the weird kid Wally struggle to catch his first Pokemon, I continued on to Route 104 and found a little Talo in the grass. Aggressive and screams and hungry? Oh yeah, I know your name. In Petalburg Forest, a Team Magma grunt jumps some random professor, so Ari and Teriyaki peck his eyes out. Oh, hello, Shroomish. I'm gonna name you Onion. I make it to Rustboro, and while getting ready to take on Roxanne's gym, Teriyaki kills another Zigzagoon I was about to catch. What's your problem with Zigzagoons, dude? But it turned out alright, because she also ended up evolving. Onion was able to destroy Roxanne with ease, and we got our first gym badge. Exiting the gym, we catch a glance that Team Magma is up to no good again. Something about the scorching earth or something. And this old man exclaims that they stole his Pico. Here's your dog. Also, you're coming with me. The mayor thanks me by turning me into his errand boy, and I arrive in Dewford to give a letter to Stephen. Alright, what do we got? Ugh. Okay, chomps. After finding Steven, it was time to take on Brawly, the next gym leader. Ari's a stone-cold killer and easily earned MVP in that fight. Things were going well, 2 badges in, and the team is looking good. On my way to the next city, I caught a tentacle on the beach. Squidward. And after beating Team Magma and Brendan again in Slateport, it was time again to get ready for the gym battle with Watson. But as I was fighting some trainers, Chomps the Mawile got electrocuted a bit too hard and was killed. Jaiden, let's battle. I want to show you how strong I am. Okay. Ari, this is an electric gym. You're not allowed to fight in here, so you can just wait outside. While battling the gym trainers, Onion evolved into Breloom, and together with Teriyaki, they were able to get another victory. Now we were riding high. 3 gym badges in and no main casualties. With our massive confidence, we decided to take on the Windstrait family's challenge of beating all their family members. I had Squidward out front to get him some experience, but we ran into some troubles with Grandma. Oh god, it's gonna do a high jump kick. We can take him out, but I need a clean switch first. So I had to sacrifice Hushchild the Whismer, but honestly that was the safest move to ensure no one else died. Goodbye, Hushchild. You might be missed. While we were heading to Fall Arbor, fighting some trainers, Ari evolved. Oh, look at my big bird. Oh, look at you. Yeah. We were almost to town, but we had to get through the sooty grass on 113. Oh, jeez. Alright, Barf, get in there with the rest of them. I walked into Meteor Falls to see Team Aqua and Team Magma arguing about water and rocks. Can I go? So get over here, Zubat. They kept complaining and I had to go up the volcano they were blocking to fight Maxie, the team magma leader. That was a hard fight. Onion and Teriyaki were able to take out his Mighty Anna and Camerupt, but his Golbat hit hard. I ended up having to switch in Ari and double team up to win the battle. Not the most honorable of strategies, but it worked and we're moving on. On the way down the volcano, I ran into a match shop. Oh, hello there, Chad. What? You're a female? Did I stutter? We arrived in Level Ridge Town and started getting through Flannery's gym. During that time, Squidward was almost killed by a Fury swiping Kecleon. Fury swipes. Oh my gosh, that does a lot of damage. Stop! But when it came time to battle, he pulled his weight and more. Honestly, with the team, there wasn't much I could have done to Flannery's fire Pokemon, but Squidward came in clutch by learning Bubble Beam, and it was all over for her. Badge 4, under our belt. Brendan met up with us outside the gym to give us goggles so we could walk in the sandstorms. I found a claw fossil, and Anorith was born. I didn't know what to name it, so my friend named him Gary. Now it was time for the 5th gym. After some training, Chad evolved into Machoke, and the team was leveled up. I started the battle with Ari, and after realizing I was in trouble... Yeah, that doesn't do a lot of damage. I managed to squeak by with more double teams. Ari was barely able to take out the first slacking, so when the second, stronger one came out, I knew I had to use a different strategy. I brought out Onion to leech seed it and try and get more chip damage in, which worked, but he was also killed by Slacking's Facade, which I thought he could take. Chad was able to finish off the rest of the fight, but that was the first death that actually hurt. I'm not crying. Someone's just chopping onions in here. But with every down, there's an up, and Corn stepped up and was ready to fill Onion's spot. While passing through Mauville again, Watson asked us to help him turn off the city's generator, and while down there I found a Magnemite. You wanna come with? Okay. We kept on our way, catching Spurky the Electrike, and while fighting some trainers, Corn survived 2 very close calls. He took a Swords Dance boosted Fury Cutter by Ninjask, and a misclick from me which resulted in him tanking a wing attack from a Talo. No, Corn, no! Oh. Dude, Corn, I'm so sorry. You're such a trooper. Good news is Squidward evolved while training, so that's neat. We arrived in Fortree City, and this was a gym I was really nervous about. Not only did we not have a good team to take on a flying-type gym, but Winona's Altaria is notorious for sweeping teams if she sets up too many dragon dances. I went to the grass to train up the team, and the worst happened. Corn was killed by Pin Missile from a Zigzagoon. Wait, no. Stop, Corn! Corn! You monster! How could you do this? Is this why you kept trying to kill all the Zigzagoons? I want to think that Corn sacrificed himself because he knew we were at too much of a disadvantage going into Winona's gym, and by opening up a space, we could get the type advantage we needed to stand a chance. With a heavy heart, I brought Zip Zap Zop the Magnemite to the team, and realized how much more grinding I was gonna have to do. I had to fight so many Merrills to get Zip Zap Zop on par with the rest of the team. You wanna know how many? The move Thunderbolt can be used 15 times before it runs out, and I had to go back to the Pokemon Center almost 6 separate times to refill it, meaning Zip Zap Zop killed more than 80 Marill that were living in that lake. Winona led with Swellow, which Zip Zap Zop was able to take out, but she immediately brought out Altaria, which made me very scared because I know she's got Earthquake on that thing. I didn't have a clean switch, and I knew no one on the team could take 2 hits from this Cloud Bird, so I ultimately decided that I'd have to have Zip Zap Zop paralyze it in exchange for his death. Goodbye, Zip Zap Zop. You weren't here for long, but your efforts will not be in vain. Oh my god! Somehow Zip Zap Zop lived the earthquake on 2 HP like a mad lad. Corn must have been looking down on us for that one, because there was definitely a 90% chance Zip Zap Zop was supposed to die there. With that string of luck, I was able to switch Ari in for Zip Zap Zop to predict another earthquake, and started chipping away at the Altaria, which was not gonna be easy. She was already starting to stack up those dragon dances, which make her moves even more powerful, and I was legitimately sweating. But with what little luck we had left, Winona got greedy and tried to get in that last dragon dance, and that's when Ari was able to swoop in and snipe that kill. If that Altaria would have decided to attack at any point, she would have one-shotted anyone and everyone on my team. Thank you, Corn. You shined your photosynthesis onto us. From there, I was able to heal up Zip Zap Zop and sweep the rest of her team. The 6th gym badge was ours. Outside the Safari Zone, I found a Duskull I was able to catch. I tried to have Gary on the team since resurrecting him from the dirt, but he honestly has like no moves that do damage, so I decided to replace him with Sin. We arrived in Lily Cove and I tried fishing on the beach for a Pokemon, but Chad punched the Whalmer I reeled up too hard and killed it. We stormed Team Magma's base, and while trying to get the Master Ball they've got on the ground, an Electrode exploded and almost killed Chad, which was uncalled for. After beating their admin, they escaped into a submarine, and I went on to fight the next gym. Tate and Liza were the first double battle gym leaders, and I didn't realize until too late that I was just a tad underleveled for them. They don't have any more than 2 Pokemon, so I think we should be okay. 42?! Uh-oh. Sin and Zip Zap Zop made a good duo, being able to confuse and paralyze them, but Solrock managed to get off a Sunny Day powered flamethrower in Zip Zap Zop's face, which totally killed him. That really sucked. He put in so much work for the team and really carried us this far. The rest of this fight's for you, Zip Zap Zop. Squidward came out, and together with Sin, were able to finish off the duo, getting us our 7th gym badge. Alright, Spurky, you're up. I think I single-handedly wiped out the entire water Pokemon population between Zip Zap Zop and Spurky. I went to Shoal Cave and caught Blubby the Spheal, and went out to take on Maxie one last time. For some reason, I didn't learn my lesson when being underleveled for Tate and Liza, because I was even more underleveled for Maxie. Mightyena. It doesn't go down?! This fight was rough. Chad was able to take out his Mightyena, but I resorted to Squidward when his Crobat came out, and luck wasn't on my side here, because Squidward was killed by a high roll wing attack. The way Pokemon works is there's a small range of damage an attack can do. It's not actually the same all the time, and it's kinda based on chance. So even though it looked like Squidward could have lived 2 wing attacks, Maxie was able to get a low roll on the first one, and a high roll on the second, which was the death of Squidward. But it wasn't time to give up. We had to persevere. For Squidward. Ari came in and took out the Crobat, and lived on 1 HP when hit by Camerap's Rock Slide. It was a tough battle, but we squeaked by. Barely. After that fight, I needed to take a step back and seriously grind up the team again. If we were just a bit more underleveled, we would have been murdered. Blubby joined the team and we got to work, eventually arriving in Sutopolis. Steven and the Sutopolis gym leader Wallace were there, saying Groudon was in the cave because someone used the wrong orb and pissed him off. So I went in there, walked up to Groudon, and Master Balled him immediately. There's no way I'm fighting Groudon. Now get in the box. While fighting Wallace, Spurky was able to take out his Luvdisc and Celio. Sin beat his Whiscash, and Chad finished off the Milotic. The team was perfect. And after obtaining our final gym badge, I knew we were ready for the Elite Four. We got through Victory Road. Wally tried to fight us for the last time, but he just needs to stop. We exited the cave, and there it was. The final challenge. Here we go. Sydney was up first, and honestly, he wasn't a challenge at all. Chad and Teriyaki were able to take care of his team with ease. Phoebe wasn't difficult either, with Sin and Blubby being MVPs. Glacio was a bit tougher. Teriyaki was able to take out her Glalie, and Spurky could handle her Celios, but her Walrein was the big problem. Walreins are thick, can tank a lot of hits, and can do a lot of damage. I would know. because I have one. I brought out Chad and she was able to get in a good amount of damage, but she was ultimately killed by Blizzard. Sin came out to try and confuse it, but it broke through the confusion and landed a Sheer Cold. Sheer Cold is a one-hit KO move. It has a 30% chance of hitting the target and will fail if the target Pokemon's level is higher than the user's. But even under all those conditions, it hit, and Sin was killed. Two great team members, down and out. Chad was with us for so long and pulled so much weight, and Sin got us through some really tough battles. Even with those losses, we were able to finish Glacia off and move on to the final Elite Four member, Drake. Drake's got a tough team, but we've got a Blubby, and she wanted revenge for her fallen comrades. She ice beamed every single one of Drake's Pokemon. Just a straight up massacre. And with that, it was on to the last battle. Steven Stone. I was legitimately nervous. I led with Spurky to take out his Skarmory as quick as possible, and Blubby was able to take out his Claydol and Aggron, but then came his Metagross. This might be the end. Metagross is Steven's strongest Pokemon, so I needed to hinder it as much as I could before it started doing serious damage. I knew his Metagross had Earthquake, which would definitely take out most of my team, so I had to have Spurky Kamikaze to get a paralysis off. Blubby came out again, and after a lot of hard work, finally beat the Metagross by spamming Surf. Teriyaki was able to finish his Cradily, and his final Pokemon was Armaldo, Gary's final revenge for getting booted from the team. I brought out Blubby because Teriyaki was pretty weakened, and after realizing she gets two-shotted by him, I knew she was gonna have to die. So with a heavy heart, Blubby pulled off her last Surf, getting Armaldo in the red, and was killed. Teriyaki, the Pokemon who's been with us from the start, who'd seen her friends die in front of her, the OG, refused to let any more murder happen. Onion, Corn, Zip Zap Zop, Squidward, Chad, Sin, Spurky, Blubby. Their zeros and ones won't go down in vain. One good kick to the head, and we did it. We completed the Pokemon Ruby Nuzlocke. Teriyaki and Ari were the only survivors, but the whole team put in a lot of work to get us to number 1. A cheers to the true Mad Lads.
So if you're new here, hi. I've done this before. Last year I made a video about my first ever Pokemon Nuzlocke, and the game I played in it was Pokemon Ruby. It was fun, so here I am again, doing another. But this time I attempted to Nuzlocke Pokemon Platinum. I'll explain again super quickly how a Nuzlocke works. You can only catch the first Pokemon you run into per route. If a Pokemon faints, it dies and you can't use it anymore. And you have to nickname your Pokemon so you grow more attached to them. If you still don't understand, that's not my problem. Let's get started. Hoo boy. This was my Pokemon Platinum Nuzlocke. Pokemon! So my friend and neighbor Barry is practically dragging me all over the place with his hyperactive squirrel brain, frantically trying to get a Pokemon as soon as possible from this Professor Rowan he saw on TV. He drags me out to Route 201 and is about to leap into the tall grass when, hold it! You guys know going into the tall grass is practically a death wish, right? What you're doing is basically suicide. Borderline insanity. What absolute moronic lunatics you are. Have you no respect for your lives? Do you have any Pokemon? No. Do you want some? And like that, I have a Turtwig. I named him Turt and immediately used him to bash in Barry's Chimchar. I was making my way through the routes, but right as I was about to nab the Shinx I found on 202...
Don't kill it. No!
So no Shinx for us. But that's alright. Shinx isn't that great this early anyway. Then I locked eyes with our first trainer. The first battle. Let's see how we fare against youngster Tristan and his level 5 Starly.
Oh my god!
So in the first trainer battle I ever fought, I almost immediately lose my starter to a critical hit. Why do I suddenly have a very bad feeling about this? Nevertheless, we kept going onward through Jubilife City, where we caught Kronk the Zubat in the cave above Route 204, and Magikarp on 218. Hi, Magikarp. Your name is Puppy. Just outside the city, Barry runs up and demands another battle, so I happily bash in his Chimchar again. And his Starly too. I kept on my way, eventually arriving in Orberg City, and nervously challenged Rourke. I was terrified of his Cranidos, but Turt landed a crit Razor Leaf and one-shot it before it could even do anything. So that's badge number 1 for us. I made it to Floroma Town and was really excited because if you didn't know, outside the Valley Windworks you can find Shellos. And if you didn't know, again, I love Shellos. I ran straight to the grass to get my Shellos encounter, and I'm not gonna pass up an encounter, so I very depressingly caught the Shinx and named it Failure to vent my sadness and frustration over not getting a slug. While there, we found Team Galactic messing around, stealing electricity, and this little girl's dad. So I beat up the grunt guarding the door, broke in, beat up the grunts in the building until Turt evolved, then found Galactic Commander Mars at the end of the corridor, who I was scared of because she's got a fat cat that hits like a semi-truck. But I had a plan. Back in the Orberg Mines, I caught Dwayne the Onyx, and I brought him to the fight because in case things got dicey, I would switch him in to buy time and heal up my other Pokemon. Basically, Dwayne was death fodder. Turt took out Mars's Zubat, and when Perugly came out, Kronk plucked off the Oranberry it was holding. But she got hit pretty hard in the process, and since Turt needed a bit of healing before he could get back into it,
Dwayne can take a scratch. Look at that. Dwayne is fine. He's fine, guys. Don't pull the sad nose for Dwayne. Dwayne's fine. Don't worry about him. Don't worry about him. Oh my god! Dude! Alright, I'll give him that. I'll give him that. Dwayne gets to live.
somehow, when Dwayne was supposed to die, he hung in there on 1 HP. And you know what? I respected the hell out of him for it. I let Dwayne live, and Turt was able to take out the Perugly. What a legend. But then I put him back in the box and moved on. In Mount Coronet, I caught a Bronzor named Big Boy, which I happily added to the team. And right before Gardenia's gym, Kronk evolved, which meant no mercy for those flower ladies. Badge number 2. We slashed the guard bushes in front of the Galactic building and ran up all the stairs where we fought Galactic Commander Jupiter. Let's take a look at how that went.
Don't crit. Don't crit, don't crit. No! But, I mean, that won't do... Let's just hit it. Don't crit him. No. Oh my god.
We finally were able to beat her, but that fight really knocked the wind out of me. I was shaking on my way back to the Pokemon Center when this lady Cynthia shows up and is like, "Egg? Yeah." Anyway, even meeting Cynthia wasn't enough to calm my nerves, so to keep my mind off the absolute tragedy we narrowly avoided, I decided to start training up Big Boy on Cycling Road. And then he died.
I've practiced this game and...
So before you push up your anime glasses and tell me that steel is weak to fire, which I know, by the way, the reason I kept Big Boy in was because not only is his defense an iron wall, but he had heat proof, which negates his fire weakness. But then he got crit. So, first death. I'm sorry, Big Boy. You never had the opportunity to become a big boy. I walked into Wayward Cave and found a Gible. Gible is an amazing Pokemon. It turns into Garchomp, which is easily one of, if not the strongest Pokemon in the game that isn't a legendary. Adding it to the team would give us such a huge advantage, and now there is nothing in my way between that and... And we're moving on. We arrived in Hearthome City where I caught DeVito the Ralts, Kronk and Puppy evolved, we had a clean win against Fantina, and some lady gave us an Eevee I named Milk. Things were starting to look better now. I was leveling up DeVito against trainers, and when fighting this lovey-dovey couple...
let's go into Puppy. Get rid of the Buizel. Oh no! You're kidding. You're kidding.
And that's why I hate love. In came Shrimp the Scyther I caught on Route 210. Some good news, on Route 213, I finally found a Shellos. I named it Swoop, and I loved it. I loved it so much. I know you're not supposed to have a favorite child, but Swoop was my favorite child, and I wasn't apologetic about it. I trained it up, and now we got a Gastrodon. Turt ended up evolving too, so together with Kronk and Swoop, Maylene was defeated, and badge number 4 was secured. Outside of Pastoria City, I caught a Quagsire named Lol, but when I went to get my Great Marsh encounter, I was trying to get a Yanma and accidentally threw a ball at a Wooper. So now we've got Lol and Oops in the box. Then I swept Crasher Wake with Milk, who is now a Jolteon, with the TM Thunder I bought literally next door. I walked out of the gym and Team Galactic set off a bomb. I ran down the grunt who detonated it and took him out because he is weak. Cynthia appears again and tells me to bring a charm to her grandma. So I'm like, yes ma'am. We found her in Celestial Town along with Cyrus, the leader of Team Galactic, who starts some evil Shakespeare speech about how everything is imperfect, so he's gotta blow up the world or something. I don't know, I wasn't really paying attention. And then he wanted to fight. Puppy took out his Sneasel and I sent out Milk to take care of his Golbat, but Milk decided he wanted to be lazy and not only miss all his thunders, but also punch himself in the face.
Milk! You can't be doing this.
Kronk came out and killed the Golbat because Milk was being difficult, but I gave him a second chance and he took out the Murkrow. Anyway, here's your dusty charm. I went out and caught a Magnemite named C, then arrived in Canalave City where we barged into Byron's gym and demolished his team with Swoop and Turd. Then Team Galactic sets off another bomb, this time at Lake Valor. So Barry, Professor Rowan's assistant Lucas, and I split up to check on the lakes. As I'm strolling past all the flopping Magikarp, I run into Galactic Commander Saturn, who we swept the floor with. After that, we headed over to Lake Verity where we did the exact same with Mars. There was a part where Turd got crit and almost died.
Oh god. Oh god.
But we're fine, he's fine. Finally, we had to go check up on Barry at Lake Acuity, and after trekking through 6 feet of snow for like a mile, we get there to find Barry at the top of a cliff like, ha ha ha, you can't climb rocks. Come back when you can climb rocks, loser. I'll go fight Candace's gym now, I guess. Now, we've been having some good type matchups with the past few gyms, so I haven't really been nervous about most of them, but Candace uses ice types, which like half my team is weak against. Which, you know, nervousness rising. Not only was I at a massive type disadvantage, but the main threats on our team were her Abomasnow because it hits like a truck and sets up hail, and her Frostlass because it'll use the hail from the Abomasnow to heighten its evasiveness with Snow Cloak, spam double teams, and then just sweep my team. I walked in, took a deep breath, which didn't make me feel better at all, and started the battle. Shrimp took out her Sneasel and Swoop took out her Piloswine, almost dying in the process, and then she finally brought out the big bad Abomasnow. Since it's grass ice type, I taught Puppy Fire Blast. Yeah, I didn't know we could... Anyway, I wasn't sure it could one-shot because Puppy's not a special attacker, and lo and behold, it didn't.
It didn't miss. Please kill it. Please. It's quad. It's quad. What?
Eventually, Puppy took it out, but that was absolutely terrifying. Last but not least, Frostlass. I wanted to have Swoop Rain Dance to get rid of the hail so Frostlass's Snow Cloak isn't activated, but since Swoop was sitting at a not-so-chill 20 HP, that wasn't gonna work out super great. However, since I didn't want Kronk to be in this fight at all, right before the fight, I swapped her with Failure the Shinx. Yep. Sorry, little guy. Failure looked up at the looming death that was Frostlass in front of her, and as I healed up Swoop, Failure was killed in its blizzard. It's really unfortunate we had to resort to it, but I give Failure a salute for stepping up and surrendering its life to the team. Swoop came out, got off the rain dance, and after a close battle, was able to pull through. We won, but it wasn't without sacrifice. We had a moment of silence for Failure, the true MVP of the fight. Gone, but not forgotten. Now we could climb the rocks to Lake Acuity, and when we got up there, Barry's got snot dripping down his face, crying in the snow because he got beat up by Jupiter, who looks at me and is like, "See ya, I'm going to Veilstone HQ." I'm gonna go to Veilstone. We start running through the base trying to find Cyrus, but when fighting this scientist...
Psychic. Porygon 2 freaks me out. It is way too powerful, way too bulky, and it's way too weird. I do like Porygon too, though. I would like a plush of Porygon too. Very cute. What? 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 No! No! Scoop! We lost Scoop!
I wasn't okay. Kurt came out and curb stomped the Porygon 2 out of vengeance, but to put it lightly, I wasn't taking that too well.
My heart is breaking. I'm like actually sad.
But life doesn't stop when your dog dies, so I had to keep trucking and brought Lol the Quagsire to the team. With an intense, blood-curdling thirst for revenge, I stormed into Cyrus's room. Fight! Shrimp and Milk took out his team in no time. I snatched his Master Ball and used his teleport pad to enter the basement where Mess Spirit, Azelf, and Yuxi are all being held captive. Fight! And like Cyrus, Saturn was swept too. After releasing the Lake Guardians, we head to Mount Coronet because Cyrus wants to go there and destroy the planet, I think, and we catch up to him at the Spear Pillar. Before we can run up and attack him, Mars and Jupiter step in. Then Barry arrives. Honestly, I have no idea how he found us all here, and is like, I'll help! Lol takes out both their Bronzors, Mars's Prugly, and Barry's Munchlax, so I thought, you know, it was all smooth sailing, right? Well...
Wow, Barry. Really doing a lot for the team, aren't ya? Oh my god, no, it has Giga Drain? No. No, oh no, oh no! It was a crit!
Not only did I not know their Golbat had Giga Drain for some reason, but it also got a crit. So I was starting to feel bad, but then I started panicking. The thing is, after you fight Mars and Jupiter, you have to go into the Distortion World and fight Cyrus and Giratina. If Cynthia forces us into the Distortion World without us being able to get a new member, we're in massive trouble. We finished up the battle and Cyrus starts his whole spiel about how the world is imperfect, blah blah blah, everything must die except for me. Then he gets swallowed up by Giratina, a hole opens, a rip in space leading to the Distortion World, and I'm kinda just standing off to the side twiddling my thumbs like, Cynthia, please don't shove me in there without my consent.
Cynthia, can I go? I have something to do. Our world will be destroyed. Are you ready? No, I'm not! Let me go! I'm free! Holy crap. Get me out of here. Goodbye.
I'm sorry, Lol. We just got you, and then you died. But luckily, remember when I accidentally caught that Wooper while trying to get a Yanma? It's time, Oops. You are no accident. You're our lucky star who will carry us to victory. We got Oops leveled up, came back to the Spear Pillar where Cynthia was just sitting there waiting for us, and hopped in. Everything is topsy-turvy and the Lake Guardians are telling me to push boulders into holes. And suddenly I'm on a floating crest of land with Cynthia, who's basically like, Cyrus, get lost and never come back. And Cyrus didn't like that. So he came at me. Oops took out his Houndoom and his Gyarados came out, so I switched to Milk. But I was very terrified because Cyrus's Gyarados has Earthquake. So if Milk misses his Thunder here, he dies. And Milk is notorious for missing his Thunders. But it hit. Milk lives another day. He also took out Cyrus's Crobat and Honchkrow, and Shrimp finished up his Weavile. Cyrus steps aside, and suddenly, it's just me and the Angel of Darkness itself, Giratina. I threw the Master Ball, and like that, it was over. I saved the world. Now to get back to my gym badges. I arrived at Sunyshore City and started making my way through Volkner's gym. I know he's the 8th gym leader and he's supposed to be tough, and apparently he's depressed because everyone who challenges him isn't good enough and he's bored. But I wasn't concerned. We have Oops, and none of his Pokemon can do anything about it. It's not like they have Giga Drain or anything, right? They didn't, I checked. Oops was just Earthquake and everything, and at the end, I'll admit, I got a bit scared.
Okay, don't crit. If you crit Giga Impact, that would be really Holy.
But it's all good. We're all good. And with that, off to Victory Road we went, where we caught ourselves a Gabite I named Flakes. Would have been nice to have one, I don't know, near the beginning of the game, say, in Wayward Cave, you know. But whatever. Better late than never. It's good to have just in case something goes horribly wrong out of nowhere.
Flakes is base 60. Yeah, it is. It's an amazing... Whoa, 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 whoa. No! You're kidding.
Oh dear. And that's the straw that broke the camel's back. After Puppy died, I stepped back and decided the team we go into the Elite Four with needs to be the best possible team we can build. The Elite Four here goes pretty hard, so I couldn't go in willy-nilly just hoping for the best. After literally a few hours of calculations and research, I settled on a team I thought would give us the highest possibility of winning. I added Flakes to the team in place of Puppy, and with a heavy heart, left Milk and Kronk behind as I brought C the now Magnezone and Colgate the Togekiss I hatched from the eggs Cynthia gave me. Even though I was sad to not bring Milk and Kronk into the final battles with us, they won't be forgotten. And it doesn't negate the fact they were such huge assets to the team, and I wouldn't have made it this far without them. I'll see you guys on the other side. I took a step towards the doors of no return, and immediately got interrupted by Barry, who wanted to have one last fight. Anyway... Welcome. This is the Elite Four. The battle starts and C takes out Aaron Zeon Mega and Vespiquen, Oops takes out his Drapion, and Colgate takes out his Scizor and Heracross. Next up is Bertha. Bertha loves ground types, but Turt and Oops had a smooth time smashing through her team. I felt a horrible shiver when her Rhyperior came out, but things went well. On to Flint. Flint has a pretty scary team, but luckily Oops and Flakes had no trouble plowing through them as well. And with that, we're on to the last member, Lucian. Now, Shrimp hasn't had much time to shine in these fights so far, so I decided I wanted to let her go all out. She set up sword stances and bullet punched everything. Proud of you, Shrimp. And suddenly, I'm at the entrance to the champion. The trainer who's been known to crush dreams in a single battle, and many still fear to this day. I took a deep breath. Things are going surprisingly well, and I don't know how to feel about it. But I looked up, and there she was. At this moment, I have only one last objective: defeat Cynthia. She leads with Spiritomb, which has no weaknesses, so I sent out Turt to hit it as hard as possible. Flakes takes out her Togekiss, and then her Garchomp comes out. This is known to be one of the toughest boss Pokemon in the entire franchise. And rightfully so. That thing was made by Satan himself, and I'm sure even he fears what he has created. I immediately switched to Oops, who's the only Pokemon that can lead us to victory here. I planned to put it to sleep with Yawn, and then Ice Beam it until it died. That was our only hope. But then, Oops was crit. And that was it. Nothing on my team can take a hit from this monster. And even if they could, they couldn't do much damage back. I sat there in disbelief, knowing there wasn't anything I could have done. And the battle is basically unwinnable now. I brought out Shrimp to bullet punch it so we could get in a little bit of damage, but she was killed. Colgate tried to chip away at it. He did some damage too, but was crit one shot. At this point, I'd accepted defeat. Only Turt, C, and Flakes were left. It's hopeless at this point. Flakes came out, and against all odds, Flakes outsped Cynthia's Garchomp and killed it. I didn't think he could do it. He was 2 levels weaker, and I don't know. I just didn't think he could outspeed it. Suddenly, there was a chance. We could win this after all. Cynthia brings out her Milotic, which C took out with a few Thunderbolts. Flakes took out the Lucario with Dig. Look, my Earthquake TM is on Scoop, and we all know what happened there. Finally, her last Pokemon comes out. Roserade. Flakes went in for the Dragon Claw, and the battle was over. We won. As Cynthia's congratulating me, a sudden feeling of overwhelming guilt washes over my entire body, so intense it almost knocks me down. I don't think I deserve this. Something here isn't right. This wasn't meant for me. Back in the distortion world when Giratina split me in two, how do I know I'm me? What happened in the other timeline where I saw glimpses of what happened parallel to this world, that was me too. Those things happened. Was that the ending I'm destined to have? The world I'm living in now is how I want things to be, but the other Jaiden is equally me as I am her. Even if you might think I deserve this dimension, things don't work like that. Are there some things you can't escape, even when you try everything you can do to alter it? I don't know the answer. I may be able to sit on this throne now and thank all the Pokemon that put in everything to help me get here. All the hard work, blood, sacrifices we made. But I don't think I can ever accept this victory. I don't know what ending was meant for me. And I don't think I ever will.
You know the drill at this point. Pokemon faints, it dies, catch one Pokemon per route and nickname it to set up for emotional trauma. But this time we're doing something a bit different. A two-person Nuzlocke. It's technically called a Soul Link, but no one knows what that means. So basically you and person 2 play the same Pokemon game at the same time, following the same Nuzlocke rules. However, your Pokemon are linked, which means if my starter dies, player 2's starter also dies. And they can't do anything about it. Plus, we can only have one primary typing for both of our teams combined. So if I catch a water type and add it to my team, person 2 can't have a water type at all on theirs. And cherry on top, all Pokemon are randomized. I can walk into the grass at any point and accidentally find God. And maybe he'll just kill all my animals right then and there. So with all these new rules in place, I needed to find a player 2. One who's a real Pokemon master, able to adapt, improvise, and strategize all at the drop of a hat. And who else other than Pokemon Master himself? Jacob Alpharad, who at this point in time has a 50-50 Nuzlocke win ratio. Here's our Pokemon Heart Gold, Soul Silver, Soul Link Nuzlocke. We both go downstairs, barely greet our mom, and immediately beeline it to Professor Elm's lab to see what Pokemon he's got for us, because we don't know. They're random. In case you forgot what I just said, we stroll up to him and he pats Jacob on the head and goes, "Here, choose from these 3. I picked them specially for you. Torterra, Tentacruel, or Ludicolo." Alright, what do I get? Why not Mankey Ariatus? Awesome. Jacob takes Torterra and I take Mankey, and we name them Franklin. On our way to talk to Mr. Pokemon, Jacob runs into a Regirock in a random patch of grass, which just flat out explodes on him. No one died, luckily, but also, oh my god. We get an egg, and immediately Professor Elm calls and tells us he's been robbed and bullied. You really couldn't handle being alone for 10 minutes, could you? On our way back to help a grown adult, we stumble onto a shady figure who scoffs, challenges us to a battle with Pokemon he stole from Elm, which we immediately win, scoffs again, then drops his wallet, passport, credit card, driver's license, social security, Target gift card on the ground in front of us, for the world to see. Dude, get your craps together. You can't be doing that when you're a wanted fugitive. Back in the lab, Elm is crying on the floor as the police and our neighbor are trying to comfort him, and the police asks us if we saw anyone suspicious. Yes, we saw his info. Now here we get to name our rival. Jacob and I try to think of someone that we both shared some sort of rivalry with. When we remembered a certain professional Pokemon Nuzlocker has been consistently reacting and critiquing our Nuzlocks so far, some of his comments were more critical than others, and directed at one of us more than the other. Mr. Policeman, his name is Jan. Hi, Jan. Let's see if you can destroy us from the inside out. Anyway, our neighbor takes us out to some grass to show us how to catch a Pokemon, runs into Articuno, catches it in a Pokeball in the green, and turns to us and goes, "See? Just like that." They give us some Pokeballs and we can finally start our journey. We both run around in the grass and our first encounters are Barboach and Houndoom. This would have been awesome for Jacob if he could catch the dang thing. Since we only had Pokeballs, Houndoom was not getting in the ball no matter what, and we ended up not getting that pair. But you know, it's alright, there's plenty more encounters like Hoppip Farfetch'd that Jacob accidentally kills, or Geodude Gyarados.
That Jacob accidentally kills. Or Tyro Charizard. That Jacob accidentally kills. Hey, why do I get this? And Jacob gets all this. And why do you keep killing him, Jacob? But finally, in the Ruins of Elf, we managed to catch a new pair. Sand/Camerupt. Not bad at all. We tried to name them Michael, but both misspell it, so welcome to the team, Michels. Then on Route 32, we catch Totodile Beedrill, which is also pretty good, mainly for just me. We started combining the two Pokemon to create their names, so we ended up somehow with Bedrodo. We ran into a trainer who had a frickin' Palkia on his team. Fun fact, did you know if you Google Palkia type weakness, Google will tell you that he's weak to Fairy and Salamence? No other dragons, just Salamence. So Jacob and I started joking around every time we saw a Palkia. Oh no, if only I had a Salamence. Uh-oh, don't have a Salamence over here. It was kind of strange how many Palkias we ran into, but that didn't stop us from bullying every single one. So we take on Faulkner, the first gym leader, who has Kyogre Bronzor and Metagross Dragonair. Oh my god. After a lot of difficulty, we both managed to beat him with no casualties. I don't know how that happened, but hey, everyone's alright.
Oh, he's gonna take himself out. Oh my god!
How about some encounters to lighten the mood? Oh, hello, Shuckle Suicune. That Jacob accidentally kills. In Azalea Town, we challenge Bugsy, who luckily wasn't as stacked as Faulkner. And as we step outside, Jan, who is surprised we haven't been demolished yet, yeah, I'm surprised too, challenges us to a battle, which we also win. Hehehe. We run into Mawile Deoxys in the forest, who someone accidentally kills, and make our way to Goldenrod, where there's a security guard that'll give us both a Pokemon. He hands me a Porygon 2, which I'm ecstatic about, turns to Jacob, and gives him Regigigas, which we can't use because they're both normal types. Of all the legends you had to get, of course you get the only normal type besides actual God. We beat Whitney and in the national park find Piplup Flaffy, which we name Plap. I pitched to Jacob that I'm willing to trade the Bedrodos to make room for this new pair, so he essentially switches Beedrill with Flaffy, which we shake on. Welcome to the team, Plaps. And then my Plap immediately almost gets killed.
Jaiden.
I'll fix it.
Sorry, my bad. We find Dragonair Shuppet, which is an actually insane pair we could use right away. But yeah, I ended up killing that one. Look, I'm sorry, Jacob. It is harder than it looks to catch these things. We pour water on the strange trees on Route 36 that actually turn out to be Cradily Silcoon. We kinda named them Dillydoo and could have added them to the team as death fodder, but we ended up forgetting to. Which is, yeah, a pretty silly mistake, but what's the worst that could happen? Who needs death fodder in a Nuzlocke? Jacob and I make it to Ekritik and walk into the burned tower. As we are about to go down there, Jan runs up and is like, "You're only trying to catch Suicune to make yourselves look stronger than you actually are." And we're like, "No, we killed him a while ago." But he still wanted to battle, probably to show off the Mew he somehow found. We beat him yet again, go downstairs, scare off the dogs, and go challenge Morty. Jacob didn't have any trouble for the team Morty had for him, but for me, I was having a bit of a harder time because he had a Lugia, which neither me nor my team could even handle. All I could do was bubble beam it with Plap and pray I don't get crit one-shot as Jacob just sits there watching. But it ended up working out. We arrive in Olivine and climb the giant lighthouse, almost falling to our literal death along the way. Reach Jasmine at the top, who's like, "Climb back down and go get medicine for Amphi and Cianwood." And we were like, we almost died getting here. Surfing to Cianwood, we encountered Abomasnow Pupitar. And I know what you're thinking. Yeah, we did catch them. Abomatar joined the team immediately, and suddenly we've got a pretty powerful lineup going on. Also, a random guy in town gifted us a Mewtwo and Weepinbell. Finally, I'm the one with the legend now. But we had to box him because we couldn't have two grass types. All of this sudden shared luck combined with our 0-death win streak got us feeling pretty confident, which naturally means it's time to get kicked in the throat. Specifically by a black belt martial artist. Gym leader Chuck was indescribably tough in the most bullcrap way possible. For me, Jacob had no trouble at all because he's Jacob. He had a Kingdra, which I brought Abomatar out for. Nothing else on my team could really do anything against it. The main drawback of this is Abomatar's Snow Warning ability, which creates hail, damaging every Pokemon, including my own, that's not an ice type, which is pretty inconvenient in a Nuzlocke. I even made a teeny tiny comment about it when I first got him.
I'm gonna call it. Snow's gonna kill one of my Pokemon.
Kingdra goes down, and Chuck's only other Pokemon, he's only got two, is Frostlass, who, if you don't know, has Snowcloak. Snowcloak makes the Pokemon 20% harder to hit if there's hail. You want to know how many Pokemon in Gen 4 have this ability? 5. 3 of which being Mamoswine. You want to know how many Pokemon there are in Heart Gold Soul Silver? 493. Now, I know these odds sound pretty awful already, but you know what this Frostlass does? She uses Ominous Wind. Ominous Wind has a 10% chance to boost every single stat of the user. She gets the stat boost twice in a row. After a lot of strategizing, we both decided the best option for us would be to send in Michel as death fodder to heal up Plap, because he's the only one that can really do anything at this point. And what happens?
Please don't get another stat boost.
He's good. He's so good.
No.
Oh my! Frostlass crit one-shots Michel as soon as he comes out. Our first deaths. Poor Camerupt, he was so proud for making it out of Jack's gym and then just falls over dead for no reason. I got Plap healed up and basically started heal stalling, which, sure, isn't a noble strategy, but come on. After literally struggling against my own bad luck for what felt like hours, finally, Frostlass goes down.
Finally. Holy shit.
Jacob practically drags me out of the gym and we head to the BC. We decided to add a pair we caught back on Route 35, which was Charmeleon Donphan named Darfell. A fantastic duo. I was admittedly, and I think justifiably, still really salty about what we just went through, but Jacob convinced me that we should just move on. We got our Darfells leveled up and returned to Olivine to feed Amphi the medicine that we picked up so Jasmine would finally do her job. And check this out.
Already done.
You're right. Oh my god.
Look at our 2 screens real quick.
Nah, it's alright. She also had a Geoxys. We headed to Mahogany Town, catching and adding Nidoran and Bibarel, named Beryl, to the team. And in the Lake of Rage, Jacob caught a Kyogre paired with my Swalot. We never used this pair, but I just wanted to mention it for reasons. We approached the glistening shadow of the lake beast, activate the encounter, and find a shiny Banerian Donphan. Not, you know, the best, but hey, free shiny Pokemon. Doesn't hurt to Oop, I killed it. That's, again, my bad. Sorry. Lance walks up to us and goes, "Hi, I'm Lance." Grabs us by the wrist, kicks down the door to the Mahogany Town 7-Eleven, kills one of the guys in there, and runs into the rocket hideout where he continues to wipe out any living organism he finds down there. Classic Lance. We decided to copy him and beat up all the executives and their power generator. Right before we fly to Goldenrod, we pick up the 7th badge and then continue curb stomping Team Rocket. We were getting a bit too comfy though, and as Jacob wasn't paying attention, mainly because he just got a chicken sandwich, Obamatar was killed by a Golem's earthquake. Oh no. That was a really bad blow and stung much more because we weren't paying attention. But we did have to move on, especially since we were literally in the middle of a gang fight. We shoved our way to Rocket Executive and Big Boss Archer and give him a bit of a throat chop so he would calm down and stop doing whatever it is he was doing. And everyone is saved. On our way to Blackthorn, we catch Frostlass Corfish, which put me into a vengeful trauma spiral. You. And then Jacob caught himself both a Suicune and an Azelf. We arrived and took on Claire, who led with a Mewtwo against me, which at this point I shouldn't even be surprised. But all the rest of our team was pretty much a pushover for both of us. Claire's a bad sport and refused to think we were good trainers, so we talked to the old man behind the gym and he's like, "So do you beat your Pokemon?" And we're like, "No." And he's like, "Awesome. Claire, give him the stupid badge." What? So now we can head to the Elite Four. Hey guys, I think you should go fight a horde of Asian women in Ecruteak. So we enter the Ecruteak Theater and start fighting the women, and the second girl for me sends out Ambipom. As I switched to Franklin, it screeched, which I didn't pay attention to, and Ambipom double hit killed Franklin. Our starters died. Dude, that was really sad. We were about to make it to the Elite Four with them, and bam. Not alive anymore. They were with us through everything, pretty much the backbone to our teams. Man, Jan's gonna make so much fun of us when he finds out. As we're still mourning, the last kimono girl rest spams with Wailord. Do you have any dignity, woman? We're lamenting over here. We try to leave and the girls are all, no, go catch the legendary Pokemon. He's already got 3. So I head to Whirl Islands and Jacob scales the bell tower. And what legends do we find? The legendary Zangoose and Loudred. Finally, we have some freedom again. And as soon as we touch the water in Newbark to head to Victory Road, what pops up from the bottom of the lake but Entei himself? And Doduo. Oh my god! Hello, Dode. That's going in the box because fire types. We catch Cascoon Regirock in Victory Road, and heading towards the exit, Jan sprints up from behind us, and I iconically say, "This is your last chance to kill one of our Pokemon, Jan." And what happens? Oh my god. No.
What happened? Oh. That's not great.
He killed one of our Pokemon. Yeah, that sucks. That really sucks. Darfell was an incredible pair we've had since the 5th gym, and we really grew to lean on. We lost quite literally half our team right before the Elite Four. We beat Jan for the last time, enter the Indigo Plateau, and immediately bolt to the PC to see what kind of damage control we can do. After a very long time of trying to stitch together the best teams possible, we ended up with this. Ampharos Empoleon, Bibarel Nidoqueen, Beautifly Cradily, Dodrio Entei, and Victory Bell Mewtwo. I know. Wow, Jaiden, super balanced. You've got Mewtwo and Entei, and Jacob has a Beautifly. Look, this is the best we could do, I promise. Tell him, Jacob, tell him. Anyway, big deep breath. Here we go into the unknown depths of the Elite Four. Will, Kota, and Bruno were all no problem at all. We breezed right past them. Everything was going great.
This is fine.
Done.
Yeah, he's... Oh my god. It's fine. I win these.
On the other hand, Karen was not as nice.
No, I just mean, what if he does any charge move?
Oh.
Okay, he just did cross chop. He's dead. It's fine. I was safe to fly him. I'm just paranoid. Oh my god. Oh my
Yeah.
god. Oh my god.
Oh no.
Guys, we're so sorry we got you killed in the first, 15 minutes of having you. We ended up getting out of the battle with no more casualties, but facing Lance with a team of 4 each is really not ideal, to say the least. But we walked up to him nonetheless. Whether we win or lose here, this is our last battle. He leads with Fiona and Ledian, which we were both like, ha ha ha, Lance, is this all you've got? And then he hits us with the no. Jacob was up against his Porygon Z, Rampardos, Licky Licky, Zapdos, and Plusle. And even though it's a pretty stacked team, he was holding his own and getting through them really well. On my end, I was dealing with a giga-impacting Snorlax, which I really had nothing for. I just had to pray for no crits and as many misses as possible. It goes down eventually, and what does he send out next? Palkia. Oh... I could really use a Salamence right about now. This is what we get. We bullied Palkia so much during our journey here. Looking at my team, I don't have anything that can handle Palkia either, except for Mewtwo. And what happens? He gets Spatial Rend crit one-shot turn 1. I am in a lot of trouble. I took so much time getting past Snorlax that Jacob was already done with his battle, so all he could do was watch this massacre from the sidelines. I sent out Dillydoo to confuse stall him and just try to chip away at him with basically nothing. And my god was I lucky, because if Palkia hit one more crit at any point, Dillydoo and the run was over. And I was forced to dance on that line for a long time. But eventually, Dillydoo lands the finishing blow. I was so proud. The pair that we caught so early on and deemed as death fodder was the one saving us. We're so sorry for doubting you, Dillydoo. Thank you for sticking by us and not dying. But that was only half of Lance's team, might I remind you. Plap took out his Sand Slash, which stung, but Bastiodon came out, tanked Plap's Surf, and killed him with Metal Burst. I was in shock with that one. That was our second oldest pair. Ever since our Franklins died, Jacob and I both started seeing the Plaps as our star members. Beryl came out and revenge finished the Bastiodon, and Lance's last Pokemon was big ol' hard-hitting, tanky frickin' Azumarill. I sent Dillydoo back out because Beryl would die immediately, and started the chipping game again. If that wasn't bad enough, Azumarill set up the rain and an aqua ring for itself, which turned this fight from, this awful one-on-one lasted 10 whole minutes. I slap him, he slaps back, much harder, and then heals, and then I heal. But eventually, Dilly-Doo wins the stalling battle, and Azumarill goes down. In an unpredictable turn of events, Dilly-Doo saved us from utter defeat. What an adventure we just went on. Insane encounters, insane bullcrap, friends, death, bullying, and the Dilly-Doos. Thanks for going on this journey with me, Jacob. I quite literally couldn't have done it without you. And a salute to the buddies we made along the way. Except you.